We're live. It's week 3. Week 3. This could be the day. This could be the day that we get multiple rookie running back breakouts. I'm talking Devon A-Chain. I expect his role is going to increase today. He's not going to take over that backfield. This is still a Raheem Mostert show in Miami. Don't get me wrong. But Devon A-Chain is going to be more involved. He missed week 1 with an injury, kind of just slowly worked him into a few snaps in week 2. Then the Dolphins talked about wanting to get him on the field more involved. That starts today. Again, slow ramp up, but it starts today. And all he needs to be impactful for fantasy football is 10 touches. This is the guy who has 4.32 speed. 4.32 speed. This guy is the perfect fit in the Mike McDaniel offense. He can get to the edge, put his foot in the ground, and that dude will rocket for a 50-yard touchdown. No problem. So we're watching Devon A-Chain today. We're also watching Kendre Miller today. Kendre Miller missed the first couple of weeks with an injury of his own. He's been battling injuries for a long time now. To an ankle, hamstring. He's back. He's healthy. Jamal Williams is out. Alvin Kamara still suspended. Tony Jones is a joke. The amount of fab that I saw spent on Tony Jones this week was mind-boggling. I don't know who it was that was spending up on Tony Jones, but just about every single league that I was in, I saw somebody overpay for Tony Jones. Tony Jones. Are you kidding me? Stop that. I hope that wasn't you, man. I hope that wasn't you. He might lead that backfield in touches today, but it's not going to be pretty, for one. And Kendre Miller is going to get involved. And Alvin Kamara is back next week. So I'm excited to see what Kendre Miller does. I think that with Jamal Williams going on IR, I think that Kendre Miller can work himself into that like Mark Ingram role. You remember a few years ago when it was Kamara and Mark Ingram, they were both killing it for fantasy football. I think that can happen again with Kamara and Kendre Miller. And then we go Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson, his time is coming. His time is coming. And I think he's startable today, depending on your league, depending on, all kinds of stuff, your other options and such. I think Roschon Johnson's startable today. They got a tough game going against the Chiefs, but negative game script is what is going to be in Roschon Johnson's favor. Because he's the one who's catching passes in that backfield. And Justin Fields isn't running. Hopefully that'll change. But Justin Fields isn't running. So if he's not running, then he's going to be much more willing to check it down. He's playing scared. He's playing in his head. The check downs is what he's going to go to. They're going to be in comeback mode. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. They're going to lean on their explosive rookie, who they can trust in pass protection, who they can trust running routes, catching passes in the backfield. So we're looking at Devon A-Chain, we're looking at Kendre Miller, and we're looking at Roschon Johnson. One of these guys is going to break out today. Maybe all three of them. All right, let's get to your start sit questions for week 3. Obviously, they come in fast and furious on TikTok. Hard to keep up with all of them. All right. So if you want to guarantee that I'm going to get to your question, I guarantee you I will get to your question if you go to YouTube and go to the Yards Per Fantasy channel. Subscribe to Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube and jump in the live stream on there. I will absolutely be able to see your question, and I will get to your question, and I will prioritize the YouTube questions. That's YouTube. Search for Yards Per Fantasy. Let's go. All right, we going Amari Cooper or DK Metcalf? I really like Cooper this week. I really do. But I think we're going to lean DK Metcalf. Isaiah Pacheco or Michael Thomas? I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco. Start Zay Flowers or Nico Collins in a full PPR league. We're gonna go Zay Flowers. No Odell Beckham. The Colts have been terrible. The Colts have been terrible against wide receivers in the first 2 weeks. So I expect Zay Flowers is going to have a really nice game in week 3. Zach is asking Zach Moss or Jerome Ford. So this one's tough because they both have difficult matchups. And Zach Moss, man, Zach Moss had elite usage in week 2. The guy was being used like friggin' Christian McCaffrey. However, his talent is no Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna lean Jerome Ford. Despite the difficult matchup, he's just a much more explosive running back. So I'm going to lean Jerome Ford there. But I do like the usage of Moss. Raheem Mostert or Javonte Williams? I'm going to go Raheem Mostert. I know we're hoping for more work from Devon A-Chain today, but I still expect Mostert to be heavily involved there, leading that backfield. Especially with Salvon Ahmed out, Raheem Mostert will still get his typical usage, and then A-Chain will get a little bit of Raheem Mostert's work and all of Salvon Ahmed's work. All right. Davin is asking James Cook, DeAndre Hopkins, or Zay Flowers. I really want to say James Cook here, but the dude doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't get the work in the red zone. That's really the appealing part of the Bills' offense. So I'm going to lean Zay Flowers. Assuming it's a PPR league, I'm going to go Zay Flowers. Because like I just said, I think that the Colts defense has been terrible against receivers so far through the first 2 weeks. No Odell Beckham there to compete with targets. Let's go Zay Flowers. I have him 2 spots ahead of DeAndre Hopkins for what it's worth. Quinn is asking, pick 2, Josh Kelly, DeAndre Swift, Raheem Mostert, and Josh Jacobs. Well, I'm definitely going Josh Kelly because we're going right back to Josh Kelly. I know everybody was starting Josh Kelly last week. Oh, Eckler's out. We're going to start Josh Kelly. This is exciting. This is awesome. Pick him up off the waiver wire. This is fun. And then he absolute dud, right? But he was only going against the Titans. The Titans are an elite run-stuffing defense. They shut him down, which is one of the things I'm worried about with Jerome Ford this week. It's going to be like the same thing. The rush to the waiver wire to pick up Jerome Ford, and then he gets shut down by a very, very tough to run against Titans defense. Pass funnel defense. However, this is the bounce back for Josh Kelly. The usage was there last week. He was on the field. He was getting a bell cow workload. That's not a problem. This week, going against the Vikings defense, they're not good. Vikings defense is not good, but their offense is good, and so is the Chargers offense. So that's going to be a high-scoring game. They're going to put up a lot of points, which means they're going to have to throw the ball a lot for one, because it's going to be a shootout. So Josh Kelly can get involved in the passing game a little bit, but they're also going to get to the goal line. We could see multiple Josh Kelly touchdowns in this game environment. I would not be surprised if Chargers-Vikings is the highest scoring game of the day. So we're going Josh Kelly. I have him ranked as my RB11. And then we got to pick 2. So it's Josh Kelly. And then we want to go Josh Jacobs. I think we probably got to go Josh Jacobs. I know he's got a difficult matchup against the Steelers tonight as well. And he's been struggling. But we got to trust the usage. He's going to get on track. So we're going to go Josh Jacobs and Josh Kelly. Raheem Mostert or Collins? I want to go Mostert there. But I'm totally fine going with Collins. But I'm still not sold that Collins is exactly what we've seen for the first 2 weeks. Rashad White or DJ Moore? I think we got to go Rashad White. He's in a full bell cow work, bell cow role. Couldn't find the word I was looking for there. We're going to go Rashad White over DJ Moore. And PPR flex play. Pick one. Tony Jones. No. Rashad Bateman or Tyler Boyd. So this one, these are the fun questions. These are the ones we live for, right? The deep leagues, difficult decisions. You know, it's not like, I don't know, we get DeAndre Hopkins or Zay Flowers. I mean, can we put both of those guys in the lineup? This is one where it's tough. So I don't like Tony Jones at all. I think he is the definition of a jag. He's just a guy, right? And Kendrick Miller is going to get worked into that offense today. Rashad Bateman, I think today could be the day. Today has to be the day for one. Let's have a conversation about Rashad Bateman. Today has to be the day. We've been hanging on for 3 years now, waiting for Rashad Bateman to break out. He was a great prospect coming out of Minnesota. First round pick. Excellent profile coming out. Injuries, other issues have just held him back. And it hasn't happened yet. We're waiting. This is his chance. Going against a great matchup with the Colts. No Odell Beckham in that lineup. The only other wide receiver there that he really has to contend with is Nelson Aguilar and a rookie. And I know it's a damn good rookie in Zay Flowers, but it's a rookie. I'm going to go Rashad Bateman here because we'll touch on Tyler Boyd real quick. Very likely that he's going to get the backup quarterback. I don't think Joe Burrow is playing tomorrow night. So Tyler Boyd as the third option in that passing game. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 0 targets. So I'm not trusting Tyler Boyd at all with no Joe Burrow. So we're going to go Rashad Bateman, especially in a PPR league. Long answer, but I think we had to talk about it. It's make or break today. Make or break today for Rashad Bateman. Like I said, it's tough to keep up with all the questions on TikTok. So if you want me to guarantee I'm going to answer your questions, get on YouTube, search Yards Per Fantasy. We're live on YouTube, on the Yards Per Fantasy YouTube channel. Get in there and I guarantee you I will get to your questions. Nico Collins or T. Higgins? See, this is another one. This is tough. Normally it would be like no-brainer, right? No-brainer. We're going to go T. Higgins, easy. But with Jake Browning as quarterback, most likely, I don't know if we should trust it. I don't know if we should trust it. So I'm going to go Nico Collins. Let's just play Nico Collins. Let's play Nico Collins. Let's do that. Let's see. Should we go Nico Collins or Tyler Lockett? So this is a tough one. I do like Lockett a lot. And I have him ranked ahead of Nico Collins. So I'm going to go Tyler Lockett there. Lamar or Herbert? I'm going to go Justin Herbert today. He's playing in a dome, in a shootout against the Vikings. Should be a ton of points, ton of fantasy points scored in that game. If you're playing DFS, that's the game to stack right there. So I'm going to go Herbert, where Jackson, on the other hand, is playing in a little bit of a storm. Going to be rainy, windy. So points could be held down just a little bit in that game. Brian on YouTube is asking James Cook or Joe Mixon. Yeah, I'm going to go Joe Mixon here. Whether Joe Burrow plays or not, I think the Bengals game plan this week is going to be built around Joe Mixon, which is difficult because they're going against Aaron Donald. But they're going to find a way to get Joe Mixon involved because, one, if Joe Burrow plays, he's playing injured got the calf injury. He's going to be limited. He's just going to want to get the ball out, hand it off, get out of there. And if it's not Joe Burrow, it's going to be a guy who has like no NFL experience. We don't know what to expect. So you know they're going to lean on Joe Mixon. Now, I don't love that because it means the offense isn't going to be great. There's not going to be a lot of scoring opportunities. It's going to be inefficient. But I think we got to go Joe Mixon. Kyle on YouTube is asking Rachaad White, Khalil Herbert, or Tank Dell for the flex. For me, this is pretty easy. Rachaad White. We touched on it a few minutes ago, but Rachaad White is an absolute bell cow role. He's getting heavily involved in the passing game. He's getting heavily involved on the ground. He's got no backfield competition, right? Chase Edmonds is out, and Sean Tucker has been the definition of inefficient, 1.7 yards per carry. And Rachaad White was a little inefficient on his own in week 1. Came out week 2, and he looked a lot better. Over 70 yards rushing, ran over 70% of the routes. Once again, both weeks he's played over 70% of the snaps, getting a ton of carries. We're going to go Rachaad White there. Maverick on YouTube is asking Gus Edwards, Alexander Madison, Chris Godwin, or T. Higgins. Full PPR. I need one of these guys. I'm going to go Chris Godwin. I'm going to go Godwin. That's going to be a game they're going to have to pass the ball a lot. It's going to be points scored. Going against the Eagles. I'm going to go Godwin there. Daniel is asking, did I mess my team up by drafting T. Higgins and Jamar? No. So, I mean, we can't be that surprised that the Bengals have gotten off to a slow start offensively after Joe Burrow missed all of training camp, pretty much, all of preseason. So I was still drafting those guys with no hesitancy, all right? Because it's Joe Burrow. It's the Bengals offense. They're going to be fantastic. We know what these guys are, right? We know what these guys are. It's unfortunate with the calf being re-aggravated, and now that offense is in flux a little bit. But I don't think that was a mistake. It's just bad luck. Just bad luck. And you know what? I think come week 6, week 7, week 8, we're going to see the same old Bengals. High-scoring offense, healthy Joe Burrow. And I think you'll be fine. You'll be happy with your decision. Draft those guys. PPR, Jerome Ford, Michael Thomas, Gus Edwards, or Terry McLaurin. I think we got to go Terry McLaurin here. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin. Jerome Ford, I love. He's explosive, big play running back. I think the role is going to be there that we want. Difficult matchup, though, this week against the Titans. I'll go Terry McLaurin. Alexander Madison, Tank Dell, or Jalen Warren in the flex. I'm going to go Alexander Madison. I'm going to go Madison. I know he's been bad. But he's had some difficult matchups of his own. And then they brought in Cam Akers. You know that pissed off Alexander Madison. He's going to be ready to go. He's going to be motivated today. In a high-scoring game against the Chargers, it's going to be points scored in that game. There's going to be a lot of passing, which could result in some dump-offs to Alexander Madison. Cam Akers is not playing. Should be opportunities to score touchdowns for Alexander Madison today. They'll get to the goal line multiple times, and hopefully he can punch that in. Should I drop any of these guys for Chris Godwin? Should I drop any of these guys for Chris Godwin, Higgins, Collins, or Watson? I'm not sure I understand the question. Drop any of these guys for who? Is Chris Godwin available? Go get Chris Godwin. Clarify the question for me, please. All right. Kendra Miller or Khalil Herbert. We still got to go Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert's, but I think Kendra Miller's time is coming. And on the Bears, Roschon Johnson's time is coming. It's coming. But we're still going Herbert today. This could be the last week, though. Marvin Mims, Tank Dell, Jackson Smith and Jigba, or Roshan Johnson in the flex. Mims was awesome last week, but he only ran 6 routes. You know he's going to run more than that this week because of how well he played. He had 2 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown on 6 routes. But we still can't trust the role. Tank Dell looked pretty good, man. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. He had a pretty decent target share. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think his time is coming. He's second on that team in targets. It's only a matter of time before he has a game. And Roshan Johnson, we talked about at the top of the show, his time is coming. I think today could be the day that he has his breakout and starts to really take over that backfield. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It could be today. I'm not saying it's going to be, but it could be. So this is a difficult question here. So I think we can throw Mims out. As much as I love Mims, we're not ready to start him yet. Because if he's only going to run 6 routes like he did last week, we can't trust he's going to catch 2 of them for 113 yards. Not there yet. We got to wait and see. Hang on to Mims. Tank Dell had that nice role. Jackson Smith and Jigba has had a nice role, and he's got the talent. Roshan Johnson's coming. But I don't think it's quite safe enough to play him yet. Although I do have him in a couple lineups in deeper leagues. With that said, I'm kind of filibustering here. This is a difficult question, man. I think we got to go. We got to go Tank Dell. I think we got to go Tank Dell. He's got the role that we can trust the most right now. I think I would rank them Dell, very, very close behind Jackson Smith and Jigba, Roshan, and then we're not ready yet on Marvin Mims. All right, so should I drop any of those 3 guys for Chris Godwin? I don't know how the hell Chris Godwin was dropped in your league. That's insanity, for one. But we're definitely not dropping T. Higgins. I mean, I would want Godwin over Collins, but we can't drop Collins. And Watson, I'm assuming, is Christian Watson. We're not dropping him either. This has to be like a 8-man league. This is terrible. I mean, if these are the types of guys who are on your waiver wire, I guess it would be Watson because he's given us nothing yet. Right? And if, like I said, if this caliber of guys are available on your waiver wire, then he's going to be replaceable. And he could still be there when he returns. So I guess we got to go Watson there. Derek Carr and Michael Thomas, or Stroud and Nico. I would go Stroud and Nico. I would. I really go Stroud and Nico. If we're going to stack 2 guys, we're going to go Stroud and Nico because Stroud has been great. He's been really, really good. They've been throwing the ball a lot. They've been leaning on CJ Stroud. They clearly trust him, which is great for Nico Collins. Yeah, I would do those guys. Is DK Metcalf good to play? Yeah, he's active. He's going to play today. Josh Kelly or Joe Mixon? I'm going to go Josh Kelly. A.J. Dillon or Breece Hall? I think we got to go, man. I think we got to go A.J. Dillon. We have to. Breece Hall is in a ugly backfield committee right now. Tough Patriots defense matchup today. Unfortunately, we have to sit Breece Hall. Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff? I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence. Christian Kirk, Jordan Addison, or Jerry Jeudy? Ooh. I think I'm going to go Christian Kirk. Zay Jones is out, so we'll play Christian Kirk. And Addison's been great, but he doesn't have a full role yet, which is crazy because he's been playing awesome. This could be the week. I do have Addison in multiple lineups today, including playing him in DFS. Broncos or Patriots defense? I don't usually answer defense questions because I don't rank defenses, and I don't think I have any leagues that actually still plays defenses. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. I don't know. So I'm not really tuned into that as well as I am with the position players. However, this seems like a no-brainer. The Patriots are playing Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is like a fantasy defense's dream come true. He is a turnover machine. He's inefficient. He takes sacks. He fumbles. He throws picks. He throws he's terrible. He's terrible. Awful. So we're going to play the Patriots defense. They got a solid crew there. They should definitely get a few turnovers today. We saw that blocked field goal last week. They got a good special teams unit. So usually special teams scoring factors in to fantasy defense as well. So we'll play the Patriots defense. Evan Ingram or Sam Laporta. We're going to go Evan Ingram. I really like Ingram, especially with Zay Jones out. Just takes one more guy for target competition out of that offense. Again, if you want me to guarantee that I answer your questions, just go to YouTube. Find Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube. We're live. Guarantee I'll answer your questions on YouTube. I'm able to see them better because we get so many that come on TikTok. It's hard to keep up with. So that's YouTube. Find Yards Per Fantasy. Jordan Addison or Chris Olave. This is Olave easily. Chris Olave is on the verge of a monster game. It is coming. A monster game is coming for Chris Olave. He's seen 10-plus targets in both games. And I believe he's top 5 in expected fantasy points. His time is coming. On YouTube, we got a question: Swift, Alexander Madison, or James Conner? So I kind of like Alexander Madison this week, and I don't think I've ever said that. And Swift is a little bit of a risky play. I mean, we saw him last week. The Buccaneers have a pretty solid run defense, for one. We saw what DeAndre Swift did last week. But we also saw what Kenneth Gainwell, his role was in week 1. Kenneth Gainwell is back this week. Now, I don't expect Kenneth Gainwell to come back and take the bell cow role that he had in week 1. But I also don't expect DeAndre Swift to have the bell cow role that he had in week 2. It's going to be a much more split backfield. With that said, I do trust DeAndre Swift, his talent, and the Eagles' offense more than I do Alexander Madison. So we're going to go DeAndre Swift. Keenan on YouTube is asking Josh Kelly, Miles Sanders, or Raheem Mostert. I'm going to go Josh Kelly because I like that game environment today. He's going to bounce back. He had a difficult matchup last week. Great matchup this week. Going to score a lot of points. He could score multiple touchdowns today. We're going to go Josh Kelly. Roderick is asking Tutu Atwell or Drake London. Tutu has been surprising. Not as surprising as Puka Nacua, but he has been very, very surprising. So I got Drake London ranked as my wide receiver 33. He had a donut in week 1, and then he came out and he scored, 18, 19 fantasy points in week 2? We just don't know what's going to happen. We just don't know how Arthur Smith is going to feel today. Do I trust my quarterback and lean on Drake London and Kyle Pitts? Probably not. And the other guy was Tutu Atwell? He's another one that I know he's been great. But Joe Burrow is not playing in that game. So that game environment is not going to be great for pass catchers. It's not. It's just not. Because the Rams are not going to be incentivized to throw the ball as much as they've been throwing the ball. Because they're playing against a backup quarterback. They're just going to run it. Right? And when they are throwing it, they're going to throw it at Puka Nacua. So while Tutu has been great, and Drake London has been two extremes, I think we could have leaned Drake London here. I'm going to go Drake London. Keenan is back with Miles Sanders or Raheem Mostert. I'm going to go Raheem Mostert here. I'm going Mostert. I believe I have him ranked just inside or just outside the top 12 running backs this week. It's just great to have a running back who has a good role in a really good offense. Yeah, I have him ranked as my RB12. I got Miles Sanders ranked as my RB16. So I like them both this week, but I would play Mostert against Denver over Miles Sanders against Seattle. What else we got? Nico Collins or Jordan Addison. I really want to go Jordan Addison. I know Nico's been playing well. But I think there's going to be so many points scored in that Vikings Chargers game. So I'm going to go Jordan Addison over Nico Collins. I actually have them ranked back to back. I do actually, looking at my rankings right now, I have Nico Collins ranked one spot ahead of Jordan Addison. But the way I'm feeling right now in this moment, I think I would flip them. I play Jordan Addison. But like I said, they're back to back. Just flip a coin. Sorry. Start DJ Moore or Tank Dell. I'm going to go DJ Moore. I'm going to go DJ Moore. They're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball against the Chiefs if they're going to have any chance. Just let Justin Fields loose. Just if he's going to fuck up, he's going to fuck up. But just let him play. And gotta get DJ Moore more involved. And he was more involved last week. Half PPR, we're going to start two of these three guys. Miles Sanders, AJ Dillon, or Sanders. I think we had a screw up here on the question. All right, here we go. I got to look at the next comment. Miles Sanders, AJ Dillon, or Drake London. All right, so I'm going to go Miles Sanders here, especially in a half PPR. I'm going to go Miles Sanders. Got another question here. Zach Moss or Jerome Ford? I think we touched on this one earlier, and it is a tough one because we love the role of Zach Moss last week, but it's Zach Moss, and it's the Colts offense. I trust Jerome Ford. I think he's an explosive running back. I do trust his role. Now, he's not going to have the same, usage rates that Zach Moss had last week, though I'm not sure that Zach Moss is still going to have those same usage rates either. But we know Zach Moss is locked into a bow cow role for the short term, at least. Jerome Ford, I'm not that worried about Kareem Hunt, especially his first game back. We might actually see Pierre Strong playing ahead of Kareem Hunt this week, at least. And I trust, even though the Browns' offense has been bad, I do trust them more than I do the Gardner Minshew-led Colts offense. And then obviously the talent of Ford versus Moss is not even comparable. It's Ford. However, Jerome Ford is playing against a very, very difficult to run against Titans defense. So that's my only hesitancy this week with Jerome Ford. With that said, I am going to play Jerome Ford. In this situation, I'm just going to go talent. Talent is going to win out for me. So that's Ford. Coach said Fields will run more, though. Yeah, well, he needs to. He ran, 3 times? He needs to run more. But they're going to have to throw the ball if they're going to keep up with the Chiefs. This game is going to have, if they're going to have any chance against the Chiefs, the offense has to run through Justin Fields, whether he's running or he's throwing. And they need him to do both. So hopefully they'll get him more involved as a runner. And that's just going to help the whole offense as a whole. If he's running, they're going to be more efficient. Jacoby Myers or probably a little bit fluky. But he played Jacoby Myers, and he wants to get him involved. He wants to use him. And he showed that in week 1. And I expect that's going to continue now that he's back from his concussion. Gerald Everett or Cole Kmet. I'm going to go Gerald Everett. I just like the game environment there better. Again, we got 7 minutes till kickoff. If you want me to guarantee that I'm going to prioritize your question, find Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube. That's YouTube/@Yards Per Fantasy. This is a trade question. I usually don't answer these on Sunday mornings because everybody's trying to set their lines, but this is a good one. I gave up Puka Nacua for Chris Godwin and Miles Sanders. What do you think? I think everybody in the chat's going to roast you because they're going to say Puka, but I'm going to agree. I would rather have Chris Godwin and Miles Sanders because I don't believe that Puka Nacua is going to remain what he's been over the last couple of weeks. He's going to be good. He's going to be good. You got to start him. You're going to play him. But I think we just have a much larger sample of what Chris Godwin is over the last several years and Miles Sanders. So I like that deal for you. Tyler Lockett or Zay Flowers? I'm going to play Tyler Lockett, but I do like Zay Flowers a lot today. Riley on YouTube is asking Najee Harris, Michael Thomas, or Tutu Atwell at the flex spot in a full PPR league. Yeah, I still got to go Najee. I still got to go Najee here, unfortunately. Justin Fields or Baker Mayfield? I got to go Justin Fields here. Hope that he gets involved more as a runner. Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley, or Michael Pittman. I got to go Calvin Ridley here. No, Zay Jones is going to be great for him. One less guy he has to worry about in target competition. Good matchup against the Texans defense. Their number one corner is out. Pickens, Pittman, or Brian Robinson. Yeah. This was a tough one. I think we got. If it's a PPR league, I'm going to go Michael Pittman. I think they're going to lean on Michael Pittman. He's had double-digit targets in both games. We'll go Pittman. If it's a non-PPR league, we'll go Brian Robinson. It's just he has a difficult matchup today against the Bills. That's my only concern with Brian Robinson there. Javonte Williams or DeAndre Swift? We're going to go DeAndre Swift. Devontae, missed that one. Sorry. James Conner or Gus Edwards? Ooh, yeah, this one. I definitely have these guys ranked closely. I do kind of like Gus Edwards today, going against the Colts. No Justice Hill, but I'm still. I want to lean James Conner, but man, he's going against Dallas. Go Gus Edwards. Let's just go Gus Edwards. I do have James Conner ranked ahead, but we're going to go Gus Edwards. Dallas Goedert or Hunter Henry? Hunter Henry is the tight end 2 through 2 weeks. But I'm going to go Dallas Goedert. Yeah, I still trust Dallas Goedert more. I want one more week from Hunter Henry before I start trusting him as like a top 5, top 6 tight end. On YouTube, we got a question. Tank Dell, Tutu Atwell, Gus Edwards, Tyler Boyd, or Tyler Algier in the flex. Yeah, this is where I'm going to go Gus Edwards. I'm going to go Gus Edwards here. Let's roll with Gus Edwards. He's kind of a plotter, but no backfield competition this week with Justice Hill out. It's going to be what? Melvin Gordon, Kenyon Drake. They're going to lean on Gus Edwards, especially if it's going to be a rainy, windy game. So sorry, Puka Nacua or Jordan Addison in the flex. I hate to say it because I think Jordan Addison is like an infinitely more talented wide receiver than Puka Nacua. No doubt in my mind about that. But I think we gotta go Puka Nacua. I think we do. Pat Fryermuth or Jake Ferguson. We're gonna go Pat Fryermuth. Zay Flowers or Miles Sanders. We're gonna go Zay Flowers. Rashad White, Kenneth Gainwell, or Jerome Ford. Give me Rashad White. T. Higgins or Amari Cooper. If I was confident that Joe Burrow was going to play, it would be T. Higgins, but Amari Cooper, I like Amari Cooper this week. We're going to go him over T. Higgins. because the Titans lock down the run game and they're susceptible against pass. So I think the Browns are going to lean on the passing game. No Nick Chubb. They're going to lean on the passing game, and I think that'll be great news for Amari Cooper. Jordan Addison or AJ Brown? Come on, we're going to go AJ Brown. Pacheco or Tank Dell? Give me Isaiah Pacheco. With a C, not a K. Ramondre Stevenson or T. Higgins or Mike Williams in the flex. Ooh. I really like Mike Williams a lot this week. I think he is going to have a really nice game. However, I'm going to go Ramondre Stevenson. We just know he is going to be fed touches. There's no question about that. Dameon Pierce or Kendre Miller as my RB2. We're going to go Dameon Pierce. I think Kendrick time could be coming, but I'm not ready to unleash him yet. I would just like to wait and see on Kendre Miller. Today could be the day, but I'm going to wait and see. If I have a guy like Dameon Pierce, I'm going to play Dameon Pierce. Jerome Ford or Isaiah Pacheco. I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco there. On YouTube, we got George Pickens, Breece Hall, Josh Reynolds, or Drake London in the flex. I wish we could just scream Breece Hall because I love Breece Hall. He's so talented, but they haven't unleashed him yet. He's still in an ugly backfield competition. Let's go George Pickens. All right, it's 1 o'clock. Time for kickoff. Yeah. We'll be back. We'll do this. We're going to do it Saturday night, and then we'll do it Sunday morning next week. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Good luck.